I am. Kids today got problems like their parents never had. The neighborhoods are dangerous and the public schools are bad. At home there are attractions so irresistible. The hours fly by. No work gets done. Some Jewish kids are trying, some black kids trying too. But millions of real American kids don't have a clue. But right here on the lot, we've got the answer. It's a product guaranteed to satisfy. Korean parents for sale. You say you're not all that you want to be. You see you've got a bad environment. Your work at school's not going well. Korean parents for sale. You say you need a little discipline. Someone to whip you into shape. Well, they'll be strict, but they'll be fair. Just look at the numbers, that's all I ask. Who's at the head of every class? Do you really think that they're smarter than you are? They just work their asses off, their parents make them do it. Now, when Randy Newman released that song 2 years... No, I haven't got time. Randy Newman released that song that seemed to go to the zeitgeist of what was going on in America, particularly their concern about the Asian countries taking over. Amy Chua wrote a book, Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother, which further reinforced that, saying American parents couldn't bring up the kids as well as the Asian parents. In this country, at the same time, Michael Gove was becoming Secretary of State for Education and set aside the biggest reform we've seen of public schooling, solely on the basis that we were falling behind countries like Singapore and Korea. And as evidence for this is a thing called PISA. It stands for the Programme for International Student Assessment. As you see, we're nowhere to be seen on it. Very proud of that. PISA has become the kind of Olympic Games of education, except there's only 3 subjects: maths, science, and reading. It would be like having the Olympics last year with 3 events: running, jumping, and throwing. And we'd be rubbish at it, wouldn't we? Because as everybody knows, we only win events that you can take part in sitting down. Now, there is absolutely no connection between a nation's prosperity and their scores on PISA, but still the myth exists. Here's America. They're about as bad as we are when it comes to PISA. Never get anything in the top 15. Yet this country is still filing the most number of patents anywhere in the world. It's second in the creativity index and is still the biggest global economy. Despite all of that, you have education ministers from the UK, from the US and Australia. I like to call them the leading shower of PISA. Boom, who say that we should be more like Singapore. Now, the funny thing is, I've done some work for the Singapore Education Ministry. They want to be more like us. Why? Because business leaders over there are saying the skills that Singaporean kids are getting is only one: how to pass exams. What they really need for the future is how to be critical thinkers, how to be innovative, how to be creative. It's like this. When you ask people what their favorite cup of coffee is, they always say the same thing. It should be black, it should be strong, it should have a good aroma. When they're at home, the coffee that they make for themselves is always the same. It's weak and it's milky. Starbucks' genius was making it socially acceptable to be able to go into a coffee shop and ask for a weak, milky coffee, because they called it a latte. So, as it is with coffee, so it is with learning. When we go to our parents' evening now, because of things like PISA, we think we have to talk the language of black coffee. So we ask, what are their target grades? What is their attendance going to be like? What we really want to talk about is the weak, milky stuff. Are they confident? Are they happy? Do they work well with their mates? So here's what I'd suggest to you. Here's a really radical proposition. Next time you go to your parents' evening, don't ask about the target grades. Ask the school what their target is for your child's imagination or your child's creativity. It'll totally freak them out. Even better, why not write to Michael Gove and ask Michael, say, Michael, how is it that you're going to develop the skills that we need in a future that you are determining is going to be entirely based upon rote learning and tougher exams? This is time of year for New Year's resolution. So my New Year's resolution is to reclaim the language of learning from the leading shower of Pisa. And I urge you to do the same. When you go to your school, don't talk the language of black coffee. Demand more milk in your coffee. Thank you.
Thoughts, isn't it?